Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this very fishy edition of Haverbites. I'm Miss Emily, and today the book I'm going to be reading is Paul Meets Bernadette, the book about two fish, one named Paul, one named Bernadette. And then stay tuned after the book because then I'm going to have a really fun fish craft for us today. All right, so we're going to start off with our book, Paul Meets Bernadette, written by Rosie Lamb. Paul used to go around in circles. He made big circles. He made little circles. He circled from left to right. And he circled from right to left. He circled from top to bottom. And from bottom to top. And then one day, Bernadette dropped in. "What are you doing?" Bernadette asks Paul. "I'm going round and round," says Paul. "What else is there to do? Haven't you ever noticed that there's a whole world out there? There are so many things to see. Come, look over here." "What do you think that yellow thing is?" asked Bernadette. "Dee-dum," says Paul. "That," says Bernadette, "is a boat." I don't know, does that look like a boat? Maybe. "Paul, come over here," says Bernadette. "Do you see the forest with trees of every color?" "Yes, I do," says Paul. "How enchanting." "Do you see that round thing off in the distance? What do you think that is?" asked Bernadette. "I just can't think," answers Paul. "That," says Bernadette, "is a cactus." Oh my goodness, that doesn't look like a cactus to me. I bet I know what they're doing. I bet she's using her imagination. "Aha," says Paul. "And what is that draped up there?" "Why, that is a lady's dress." "Oh, that is a dress. Of course, of course. What else could it be?" Paul says. "And I think it would look very pretty on you." Paul spots something big and blue. "What is that?" he asks Bernadette. "That," says Bernadette, "is an elephant." Well, maybe that could be the elephant's trunk. "Is she a dangerous elephant?" asks Paul. "She is not too dangerous," Bernadette tells Paul, "but you must not disturb her when she is feeding her babies." How silly. "Look up over there," Bernadette exclaims. "A Lunetta butterfly. How lovely she is," thinks Paul. Is that a butterfly? Kind of shaped like a butterfly, huh? It's easy to imagine that those glasses are a butterfly. "And do you see the tall buildings over there?" says Bernadette. "That is a city." "What is the name of the city?" asks Paul. "Milwaukee," Bernadette tells him. "Are those two bright yellow circles down there fried eggs?" Paul asks Bernadette. "Are you crazy?" says Bernadette. "Of course they are not fried eggs. That is the sun and the moon." "There is just one more thing in the whole world," says Bernadette. "What is it?" asks Paul. Bernadette motions down below and tells him, "It's a fish." Does that look like a fish? It maybe has a fish shape. These fish have good imaginations. Bernadette has shown Paul the whole world. And so Paul doesn't go around in circles anymore. He has something so much better to do. Now Paul goes around Bernadette. How sweet. Now he's got a friend in his fishbowl with him. How fun. I like that story a lot. Those fish use their imaginations and turn lots of things into fun other things. Well, speaking of turning things into other things, why don't we turn some construction paper into a cute, fun floppy fish. This one kind of looks like one of the fish in the book, maybe. So let me move my camera around and we will get started on making some fish. So all you're going to need for this is some construction paper and however many colors you want. I'm just going to do 2 colors. You could do a couple different colors if you wanted. So some construction paper, glue stick, some scissors, and a marker. And I used some white paper as well. You'll see I cut a whole bunch of circles already. So you'll see what those are for. So you need to start off with the main color of your fish. I'm going to make this fish an orange fish. So, and you need your fish to be a square. So in order to get my rectangle paper a square, I'm going to take one corner and I'm going to pull it up diagonal and line it up along the edge here. Line it up along this edge. And then I'm going to fold it down. And then right where this seam is here, I'm going to cut. We're just going to cut right along there. And now I have a triangle, excuse me, when I open it up. Now I have my square, okay? But we're actually going, now that we have it folded in half and we have that crease, we're going to open it up. And just like if you were making a paper airplane, we're going to fold one corner in to the middle, give it a good seam, and then we're going to take the other side and fold it in and give it a good seam, a good fold. And then we're going to open it back up. And we're going to start from the pointy bit down here. Actually, I'm going to flip it over this way because I'm right-handed. We're going to start from the pointy bit down here. And you see how our folds kind of made a line? We're going to take our scissors with your grown-up's help, and you're going to cut right along the fold, but you're only going to cut up to that line. So you're basically only going to cut it in half. So I'm only cutting, I'll move my scissors so you can see. I'm only cutting that far. So as I move along my fish, each cut is a little bit bigger because my lines are getting bigger here. So you're going to cut like this. You're just going to cut little strips all the way up about 3/4. So not all the way up the fish because you have to leave a spot to be his head. So once I get up to where I think I'm good, I can stop. Now I can open it up. Actually, you can flip it over this way. Doesn't really matter, but I have it this way. Ugh, I gotta get my glue stick open again. Oh no, there it goes. Ah, I got some tough glue stick. All right, so you're just gonna take one corner. Did you see how it's only cut between here and here? So now I'm gonna take the corner here. I'm gonna put some glue stick all over it. Make sure I get the edge pretty well. Be careful getting it on the table. Might need your grown-up's help for this. You want to get down in that corner too. Stick some glue. And then you're going to carefully flip it over. You're going to take the glue side and the non-glue side, and you're going to fold the non-glue side over so that it makes that triangle. Okay? So I'm going to press it down a little bit, make sure it sticks. So now we have this shape. So here's the body of our fish. And if you take him and you gently start to work him apart, you'll see that he'll start to move. And if you have spots that don't move so great, you can go back in and cut all the way back down to that line. If you miss the line a little bit, you can go in and fix that on both sides. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You'll see. There we go. Now he moves a lot better. So any spot you have where it's not really moving like that, make sure you snipped all the way down to the edge. So now I'm going to take them, and I don't want a really pointy nose fish. If you want a really pointy nose fish, you can leave it, but I want a fish with a rounder nose. So I'm just going to cut kind of like a half circle. Oops. and make it round. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I need to make the bottom part of his mouth. I almost forgot that. So the way I do this is I have another piece of orange paper. I'm going to line this part up with the outside of the paper, and I'm going to make just a quick little mark so I know about how wide it has to be. And then again, I'm just going to cut out like an arch shape. And it can go right over to the edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Then all I need to do is put some glue along the bottom edge here. Take my fish. I'm going to flip this over and put it, if you guys can see that, inside. And then I'm going to press down, make sure it sticks to the inside. So now you guys see I have a fish mouth. So now I'm going to take a different color. Here's where my yellow is going to come in. I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to make a fold. Just on the edge, it can be however big you want it to be. And I'm going to cut out 2 heart shapes. So I'm going to come up and around and back down. And if you guys know this trick, if I just make a shape like that, when I open it up, I have a heart. So I'm just going to do that one more time. You can have your grown-ups help you do this. And around and down. And now I have 2 hearts. And from the other side of my paper, I'm going to cut out another arch, smaller arch shape. That's going to be the fish's tongue. Do tongues have fish? I mean, do fish have tongues? Oh boy. I think some do. All right, so now I have the inside of his mouth. I'm going to stick some glue on that. Oops, got some on my table, but that's okay. I'll wash it off later. And I'm going to take that and line it up with the inside of his mouth. And there we go. Now I have the inside of his mouth. I'm going to take one of the heart shapes and put some glue on the end of it. And I'm going to take my fish. I'm going to take his tail and glue his tail to that heart. And then I have a fish tail with his little fins. I'm going to take my other heart and actually I'm going to cut it in half right down the line from where it was folded. And let's see, I want his fins to go that way. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of this heart, or this half, and glue it underneath. Let's see, I want it to go there. And press it down to make sure it sticks. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. Some glue. I'm sorry, you guys can't even see. Put some glue on the bottom. And let's see. Right, oops. Right there looks even, right? All right, so I'm going to press that one down too. All right, and now we're almost done. There's one more thing he's missing. Can you guys see what it is? He's missing some eyeballs. So all I did was cut out some circles from that white piece of paper. If you guys have something, there they are, to make. If you have like eyeball stickers, you could use eyeball stickers. If you have googly eyes, that would be fun too. I just cut out some white circles and took my black marker to make the circles in his eyes. So I'm going to, whoopsie, take one eyeball and glue it on. And then I'm going to take the other eyeball and I'm going to glue it on right there. There we go. All right. And now I have a really, really cute fish. And he waggles around and he'll swim. And actually, I have 2 fish. 1 fish, 2 fish. Maybe I have Paul and Bernadette. I think I like that. I think I'll name them Paul and Bernadette. Alrighty, guys. Whoopsie. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you guys make some fun fish and make them in all kinds of fun colors. And I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.